So it seems that people are having issues once again with the idea of Miles Morales being the main Spider-Man going forward. This time it's focusing more on the new recent PlayStation 5 game, Spider-Man 2, that came out, that was made by Insomniac Games, in which the developers came out and said that Miles Morales will be their new Spider-Man going forward. So essentially in that universe, in the Insomniac universe going forward, right, depending on when the narrative needs it to be, Miles Morales would be the new Spider-Man going forward. Now, I've seen a lot of people, right, who I know for a fact don't play video games or read the comics, come out and start talking about, oh, this is woke, this is this, this is that. Now, I'm not here to defend whether or not Miles Morales should be the new Spider-Man, because from the Insomniac games in that universe, the narratives makes sense. If you actually play the games, you would understand. What I want to talk about is how quickly people are to jump at the word woke every time it doesn't feature a basically white man. And essentially what it is that it's so funny to me, because these people fully understand the impact of representation, the impact that it has when you have someone that looks like you on the front page of any type of story. I've come to understand that when these people shout, "This is woke," what they're saying is, "I am scared." That's what it really means. Because they would see a poster that features a tanned or a mixed or somebody who isn't, European descent, and they'll scream, "This is going to be some woke garbage." What they're really saying is that I am terrified of being replaced. That's really what it means. People of European descent understand the importance of representation more than anybody else. And they are frightened that their social influence, that these movies, books, TV shows, and everything with between, what it offers them is slowly being reduced. The impact, the influence, the power is slowly being reduced, or from their perspective, being taken away. I'm gonna be honest with you. There are stuff that are quote unquote woke, which is basically stories or movies or TV shows being created for the sole purpose to spin a narrative, essentially. But there are movies and stuff where it features, a character of a non-European background, and the story is amazing. I mean, for example, Across the Spider-Verse, before the movie came out, people were bitching and crying that this was going to be a woke garbage nonsense because it did not feature, a white man. The movie came out, universally loved. Everybody loved the movie. The narrative, the art direction, the music, the script, everything was just flawless. And it kept them shut. They had to keep their mouth shut, because otherwise they would expose themselves for the racist pieces of shit that they really are. The same thing with Black Panther came out. The first Black Panther movie. The second Black Panther movie, I've never seen it. I didn't really want to watch it because it didn't feature T'Challa, but the first one, it was good. It wasn't perfect, but it was good. People still had issue with it because it featured predominantly a African man as the main character, which makes sense, right? Now it's gotten to the point, this whole screaming of everything being woke has gotten to the point now where they will see a poster for a new movie, and if it features more than one person of non-European background, it's already woke to them. They don't want to see it. These same people would bitch and complain and wonder why so many people are asking for diversity, asking for representation. They shouldn't really care. You can relate with any character of any background so long as the story is good and the character is compelling. But then quickly turn around and bitch and complain that they feel like all the white characters have been stripped out of movies or TV shows or video games and all that such, even though 90% of our content is still very much white European dominated. They understand the impact that representation has. They understand the importance of seeing yourself, because they, for some reason, right, will expect you to relate to a European white character, but then they'll have an issue when it's not a white European character, because they will be the first to tell you, I can't relate to this person. I don't understand the story because he doesn't look like me. But then turn around and expect you to be able to understand it. The word woke was created by Black Americans to keep each other socially aware of the issues that goes on in their community, and has been successfully co-opted by racist people and used as a dog whistle, which is probably not even a dog whistle, because anyone that says this thing is woke without giving or providing a constructive criticism is literally just saying this shit is garbage because it doesn't feature a white person, so I don't want to watch it. I mean, if you ask me personally, my honest to God truth, I really did wish they gave Miles Morales his own name, his own identity to some extent. Me personally, I genuinely do not like blackwashing or whitewashing or any washing of any kind whatsoever. I don't like receiving leftover handouts of legacy characters and then use that as a means to create diversity and representation. I've always found it cheap. All it does, right, is create divide amongst people, and it creates distractions when we should be focusing on something bigger like the narrative, the plot of the movie, and it makes it that much difficult to weed out the actual racist. Right now, these people make it very easy, right? They don't even wait for the movie to come out and they already call it woke, so we know that they're just fucking racist at the end of the day. But at the same time, I don't blame them because they have some point though. Hollywood is just not trying to be creative enough. Aside from the few ones that we get which are good, like the Sea Dragon and Across the Universe, most of the time it's a hit and miss. Sometimes it's an amazing hit, like Castlevania, and other times it's just a miss. Like, I kind of give an example because I haven't watched anything recently. Funny too is that these people will complain that, oh man, why are you taking out characters? There's so many contents out there, but they don't ever share it. They don't share it. Even if something is brand new and original and has nothing to do with any existing IP, they will still call it woke because it does not feature enough white people. The reality is, a lot of these people can't stand the idea of them not being the main character because it's unrealistic to them, which is why I find it so funny. I will say though that there are so many people creating stories. Like myself, I have my own comic line, Red Rapture. I'm trying to add to the diversity that people want, essentially. But it's also frustrating when you do create this content, right? And you do genuinely try to create original IP and original stories, only to have someone come around and tell you, that's some woke shit, I don't want it. Like, their arguments is so fucking retarded. And I think at this point I'm just rambling. I'm only talking about this because I saw Laura Shen, which is she's like a social political person, right? I know damn well she doesn't read comic or play video games, but when she started giving her opinion on, Peter Parker is Spiderman and Miles Morales is Miles Morales, that shit just fucking hilarious. But just to note, anybody who says this something is woke, what they're really saying is that I am scared of being replaced. That's the actual new definition of woke. If somebody says this is woke, what they're saying is I am scared of being replaced.